Don't leave money on the table. Welcome back to my channel. And if this is your first time watching my channel, thank you and welcome to the community. You may have come here from a career pivot video and I want to talk to you a bit about finance, specifically new style job seekers allowance. So that is the name on the website. It's also known as contribution based job seekers allowance, not to be confused with universal credit. I have conversations with people all the time around this benefit, and so many people don't know that it's available to them. This money is available to you regardless of the amount of savings that you have or your partner's income. It is not means tested. So many people don't want to claim benefits because they think it's invasive. They'll have to produce their bank statements or give access to their bank accounts and explain their finances and how much they spend and why they're not spending less on this and if they can't cut back on that. So this benefit, you don't have to deal with any of that. And more importantly, this is money that you've paid into the system. All of your national insurance that you've been paying into the system as an employee, that is what you're being paid out of for job seekers allowance. So it is your money, go and get it. When you're an employee in the UK, you pay national insurance contributions every month from every paycheck, year after year, for every year that you are working. That money goes into a pot. From that pot, they will pay you new style JSA when you need it. It is not a handout. Don't let anyone make you feel ashamed for claiming this benefit or any other. Doesn't matter if you have £100,000 in your bank account. It does not look at your savings. It does not look at your partner's savings or income. The only question that it asks is, did you pay enough national insurance contributions in the past 2 to 3 years? If the answer is yes, you may be entitled to claim. You need to have paid enough national insurance in the past 2 full years before the one that you're claiming in. If you were self-employed and only paid class 2, you generally would not qualify. You need to be unemployed or working fewer than 16 hours a week, and you need to be actively seeking work. They will make you sign a claimant commitment to say that you are looking for work for 35 hours every week. That is kind of your job for the next how many ever months that you're unemployed. That is what you have to prove to them every 2 weeks at your appointments when you meet with your work coach. And after that meeting, you will then be paid very shortly your job seekers allowance into your nominated bank account. The good news is national insurance credits also count towards this. So if you're on maternity leave, you're getting carers allowance, or you were getting credits for some other reason, those would be a part of your national insurance record, and those will be counted as a part of the 2 years that they will be looking at to assess your eligibility. So what sets this apart from universal credit is it is not means tested. With universal credit, you can't claim if you have over £16,000 in your account, and between £6,000 and £16,000, your universal credit is affected. Job seekers allowance is not like that. It is also worth noting that you can claim job seekers allowance as well as universal credit. They are not merged into a single claim, but your job seekers allowance is counted as income on your universal credit, and your universal credit will be reduced by the amount that you receive. One of the real benefits of claiming JSA when you're not working is you will get class 1 national insurance credit on your record. So these are what counts towards your pension. So if you're not working for 4 months and you didn't claim JSA or any other benefit, there would just be a gap in your national insurance credits, and that would mean that when you come to a pensionable age, you may be getting less because it would seem that you haven't worked for the full time. So that's what's really important to most professionals, is ensuring that you have a full national insurance record so that your pension is protected. When your JSA ends, the Department of Work and Pensions, DWP, will issue you a P45U. So anyone who has left a job knows that you get a P45. The DWP issues you a form that is similar to that to give to your new employer. So that shows your year-to-date pay for the period that you were claiming job seekers allowance. Why is that useful? That informs employers of your unused tax allowance for the period that you weren't working, and it makes a massive difference on your first paycheck. If you have, say, 2 to 3 months of unused tax allowance, your paycheck will be a lot bigger. And if you have been paying tax tax in that tax year and then you had a period of unemployment, it could mean that in your new role, your first pay, you get a tax refund because you've overpaid tax. If you don't claim for JSA, you won't have a P45U, which will make it very simple for payroll to sort your tax issues out and ensure that you have a nice fat check at the end of that month. So this is not specific to JSA. Your unused personal tax allowance is the same. So if you didn't work for 3 months and you didn't claim, or you claimed universal credit, or you claimed JSA, you will still have 3 months of unused personal tax allowance. The difference is that JSA issues you with a document, the P45U, to give to your employer, whereas if you didn't work, you wouldn't have that, and universal credit also doesn't provide that. So it means you would then have to speak to HMRC to let them know all of this, and you would be waiting a bit longer for your tax refund or your tax to be reduced. The current maximum rate for 26-27 is £95.55. That's around £382 a month. This is not a salary replacement, even though they expect you to be looking for a job for 35 hours a week as if you were in a job. But it is real money that can take the edge off, and it lasts for up to 182 days, so that is 6 months. After that point, if you still haven't found a job, you will discuss with your work coach your options, and you may have to transition to universal credit. So how do you claim? Go to the gov.uk website and you search New Style JSA, or you can use the link in my description. All you need is your national insurance number, your employment history, and your bank account details. That's it. That's all. After submitting, you'll be invited to an interview at the job center where you will sign your claimant commitment saying that you agree to search for work for 35 hours a week and some other conditions, as well as any other relevant information to your claim. There is a 7-day waiting period, so you are not paid for the first 7 days of your claim, but thereafter you will be paid every 2 weeks. Apply on day 1 of unemployment. Do not wait. You're already going to lose 1 week's worth of money, and it can take a while for them to get you an appointment. Why am I talking about this? So I'm in a career pivot and I am claiming JSA, and I have no shame about that. As I said before, money happy man. Any little bit that's coming into my account when I'm not working is a help. It can pay a bill, it can buy a meal, it can pay for my transport, it can do something. My biggest reason for claiming is for the tax purposes. I want any overpaid tax back, and I want my tax allowance that is not used to be beneficial to me my first couple of paychecks when I do go back to work. There is shame and stigma around attending the job center. It is worth knowing that regardless of if you were a high-level executive or not, they will treat you all the same. They are very, very clear about telling you we'll give you some time to look for a job in your industry or field, but after a while we will expect you to apply for any job, even if it's minimum wage. They will tell you that. I've heard it. Don't let any of that put you off. This is your money. It is your right to claim it. Go in, forget about the stigma and the shame, and claim what is yours. It is not a handout, and you are not begging them for anything. You are simply drawing on the national insurance contributions that you have paid month after month after month. This can help take some of the pressure off. It can give you a bit more breathing room to think about what next. Think about if you want to go out on your own, if you want to look for another job. This money just buys you a bit of time and a bit of space to think and to provide for your necessities. It can be stacked with universal credit, so if you are eligible for both, please do apply for both. You do get a work coach, and they can offer you support. They can offer you sessions. Sometimes there's training on at the job center if you're thinking about transitioning to a new career. In that, ask your work coach about that at your first meet. You are expected to provide proof that you are looking for work. So every 2 weeks when you go in, you can keep a note on your phone, you can write on a notebook, you can have like a spreadsheet to say I've applied to this amount of jobs, I have interviewed for this many jobs, I have connected with my colleagues, have attended networking events. There's a number of ways to prove your activity to search for work. If they don't deem it satisfactory, they can sanction you. It is in your best interest to prove to them that you have been searching for jobs and applying. Also, for people like me that left the role due to redundancy or voluntary redundancy, that has no impact on it. If you left your role today, you can apply from tomorrow. Other thing to bear in mind is you're not supposed to leave the country on job seekers allowance. They do say this is a UK-based benefit. If you are unemployed, if you are thinking about leaving your job and you're not sure how you're going to finance it, if you are considering redundancy and you're thinking, oh gosh, how will I pay my bills? How will I buy food? This may be the financial bridge that you need to make those decisions. And in a career pivot, every little bit counts. Ensure that you save this video and save the link in the description so that you can put in an application and share. And with that, I will see you very, very soon.